Man, the government, Trump's government shutdown. I know some of you aren't huge Trump fans. I can think of Dean Goldberry. I love saying that. One of our moderators is not a big Trump fan, and I know there's some others of you that aren't as well. But he is really impressing me again. This government shutdown, I know it's kind of a fake government shutdown. It's not the real deal, but it's still a government shutdown. It's still having impacts on things. And there's no call for him to have to do it. He could have very easily thrown his hands up in the air and said, "Oh, I tried, and the Democrats wouldn't let me build the wall," and he could have campaigned on that and probably made some hay. He didn't do that. He's taken a very, very big political risk, in doing this government shutdown. The last real government shutdown was universally blamed for the Republicans suffering some pretty huge setbacks. Now this isn't a real government shutdown. There's lots of things that are still funded. The military is still funded. Some other things are funded. But it is affecting some things. It's affecting TSA screeners, and I think eventually it could start affecting the food stamp program. That won't happen, by the way, but it could. And there's some other things that are going on. But to me, this whole thing is one more bit of evidence that Trump, even if he's not a true believer, he is dedicated to coming through on the product he sold us. And he may be a true believer at this point. I'm starting to think, maybe he is, because there was really no need for him to do this. It is an actual effectual step. It's a real tangible thing he's done to try to implement his policy of border control. And it has big risks, big risks. So I admire him for doing it. Like I said, I know some of you aren't Trump supporters. I am, obviously. I too was very disappointed in the bump stock ban. Not that bump stocks are all that useful, but it does. Any gun regulation is bad. Any gun regulation is bad, even on something stupid. And personally, bump stocks are silly, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't own them. So I know why people are soured on them. I know why folks are mad about the bump stock ban, but this government shutdown is a real deal with big risks, and he's doing it to try to accomplish what he told us he'd do: secure the southern border. I was never ever sold on the idea that a physical wall was the best way to secure the border. I always thought patrols and drones and sensors. My whole thing was secure the border. We don't have to wall off the border. We have to secure the border. We have to make sure we know who's coming across. I'm not that big of a fan of the idea of a wall. I think it's probably a waste of time. Maybe not a waste of time, but not the most effectual way. Like I said, patrols, sensors, real penalties for breaking our laws and coming in here illegal, real penalties. Not this catch and release, try again thing we got going on now, but actual real penalties for trying to break our immigration laws. That being said, even if you're not a Trump fan, can you honestly say you'd rather have had Hillary? Can you honestly say that two Supreme Court justices who at least claim to be normal people weren't worth voting for? I know we don't like to vote sometimes in our community, but honestly, do we think we would have been better off with Hillary Clinton appointing two Supreme Court justices? I don't think anyone can make that claim. If you do make that claim, I question your grasp of, I don't want to say reality, but I think maybe you think things are much farther gone than they really are. And I know there's people out there who I respect and admire who do believe that, and I just humbly and respectfully disagree with you on this topic. And we're seeing it once more, why it's important that we vote and that we be engaged, because Trump's trying, at least. Maybe he's not going to succeed. I don't. I have frequently failed in my life. I will not, judge someone for failing if they sincerely tried, and I think he's sincerely trying. This government shutdown, yes, it will affect our lives, but government shutdowns are always good, because anything that weakens and stalls government is good. Government is the biggest threat to freedom and prosperity and security in the world. Always has been, always will be. And all these function, and it's always good for people to say, "Oh, the government's not functioning, and I haven't died." Oh, the government shut down and life continues on. It's always good for people to see how little they really need government if it wasn't there, or if it was there in a much diminished capacity. So I'm a big fan of this government shutdown. I am once again impressed with Trump. He has regained my respect after the bump stock ban debacle. And I am cautiously encouraged for the moment. I don't necessarily know that we're going to win this battle, but I think we can hold our heads up high for having waged this battle. Anyway, there you go, man. We appreciate you. Thank you.